not lazy. The real reason will shock you.
In a quiet town surrounded by mountains, there lived a young man named Jame. If you asked people about him, they would say the same thing. Jame is talented. He's smart. He just doesn't try. And that last sentence followed him everywhere. Jame wasn't lazy in the way people usually imagine. He didn't sleep all day. He didn't avoid responsibility completely. He simply did the minimum. Just enough to survive. Just enough to avoid criticism. Never enough to grow. He worked at a small printing shop owned by his uncle. The job required basic design work and machine operation. Jame understood everything quickly. He learned faster than others. But after learning something, once he stopped improving, he avoided difficult projects. He avoided leadership roles. He avoided anything that required consistent effort, because effort meant risk, and risk meant possible failure, and failure would prove what he feared most, that he wasn't as capable as everyone believed. So he stayed in the safe zone. Jame often told himself, "I'll start training seriously next month. I'll improve my skills when things are less busy. I'll build my own business when I feel ready." He believed he was waiting for the right time, but the right time never arrived. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. His friends moved to bigger cities. They built companies. They studied abroad. They took risks. James stayed, comfortable, stable, unfulfilled. Sometimes at night he felt a strange heaviness in his chest. Not sadness exactly, but the quiet pain of unused potential. One afternoon, Jame received a call from his mother.
Dad.
His father had suffered a minor stroke. It wasn't life-threatening, but it was serious. Jame rushed to the hospital. Seeing his father lying in bed, silent and fragile, shook him deeply. His father had worked in construction his entire life. Long days, heavy lifting, no complaints. As James sat beside him, his father looked at him and said slowly, "I always believed you would go further than me." That sentence did something inside James. It wasn't pressure. It was disappointment mixed with hope. And for the first time, James realized something painful. He had been living far below his capacity, not because he couldn't do more, but because he chose not to. There was no sudden transformation. No motivational music playing in the background, no dramatic speech, just a quiet decision: I will stop running. Jame knew his problem was not intelligence, it was avoidance. He avoided discomfort. He avoided long-term commitment. He avoided discipline. So he started small, very small. He woke up 30 minutes earlier, not 2 hours. Not a radical life overhaul, just 30 minutes. He used that time to learn advanced design software skills that could move him beyond the printing shop. The first week felt pointless. No one noticed. No immediate results. But he continued. After 2 weeks, the excitement faded. His mind started negotiating. You deserve rest. You worked enough today. You can skip one day, and one day easily becomes 3. Jame almost returned to his old pattern, but this time he understood something he had never understood before. Motivation is unreliable. It shows up when things are easy. It disappears when things are difficult. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel, it asks what you decided. So Jame created rules. Not emotional promises, rules. Practice every morning, no excuses. Improve one small skill each week. Apply for one new opportunity each month. Nothing dramatic, just consistency. 3 months later, a regional company announced a design competition. The winner would receive a contract and long-term partnership. The old Jame would have said, "I'm not ready." the new Jame felt fear, but he applied anyway. He worked late nights after his regular job. He revised his designs repeatedly. He studied competitors' work. For the first time in his life, he experienced deep focus. Not the excitement of dreaming, but the satisfaction of working. When the results were announced, Jame did not win. He placed second in the past. This would have confirmed his fear. See, you're not good enough. But something inside him had shifted. Instead of quitting, he analyzed the feedback. His technical work was strong, but his presentation lacked confidence. So he practiced speaking every evening, in front of a mirror, recording himself, correcting posture, correcting tone, correcting clarity. It was uncomfortable, but growth always is. Months passed. Small improvements accumulated. Jame's uncle noticed his improved efficiency at the shop. Customers requested him by name. His confidence increased quietly. Then something unexpected happened. The company that had hosted the competition contacted him. The first-place winner had declined the contract. They offered it to Jame. If this had happened 1 year earlier, he would not have been ready. But now, he was prepared. Not because of talent, because of discipline. The contract changed his income. But more importantly, it changed his identity. He was no longer the talented but lazy guy. He became the consistent one, the reliable one, the one who finishes. One evening, sitting beside his recovering father, Jame said, "I thought I was lazy, but I was just afraid." His father smiled. Fear wastes more time than laziness. Jame's story is not about becoming rich overnight. It is about something deeper. Most people do not fail because they lack intelligence. They fail because they avoid discomfort long enough that time runs out. They want results in 30 days. A perfect body, fluent English, financial freedom. But real growth does not work on deadlines of convenience. It works on daily effort, quiet repetition, unseen discipline. You don't need extreme motivation. You need structure. You don't need to change your entire life in 1 week. You need to improve 1% daily. The tragedy is not failing. The tragedy is never discovering what you are capable of. Maybe you also delay starting important projects. Wait to feel ready. Avoid things that challenge your ego. Ask yourself honestly, are you tired, or are you protecting yourself from possible failure? The version of you that you admire, disciplined, confident, capable version is built slowly, not through inspiration, but through repetition. The storm in Jame's life was his father's illness. You may not need a storm, but if you keep waiting, life may send one. The question is simple. Will you start before that moment comes, or after? If this story speaks to you, say it quietly to yourself. I choose discipline over comfort. Because in the end, laziness is rarely about ability. It is about avoidance. And the day you stop running from discomfort is the day your real life begins.